Estilo Santana. Catch Monte and the Pharaoh, 8:05 to 9 p.m. every Thursday on Village Connection Radio. Arriba!
Welcome back to another episode of Monte The Pharaoh, seen only here at Village Connection Radio at Rockstar Studios every Thursday from 8:05 to 9 p.m. I am Mike Monte. At the board is the owner of this fine establishment, Mr. Jim Savelli.
Hola.
Hola. And straight across is none other than, what's your new name?
Nigel McCartney.
Nigel McCartney,
Hello,
formerly
Nigel.
known as
Nigel
Mr.
McCartney.
Stephen Miller. How are you?
How'd that come about?
And to my right is none other than the star of Monte and the Pharaoh, Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, Happy New Year, my friend.
Hello.
How's it
Out
going,
there
bro?
in TV land. Hello.
How was your New Year's?
It was okay. Not bad. I can't complain.
Just okay? What'd you do?
Just stayed in because I'm really, not into the club scene anymore, and I'm not into the drunks. So basically, just chilled out.
When's the last time you guys went out drinking on New Year's Eve?
No, I don't. Well, decades.
Never ever.
Never.
No, I always.
How about you, Pharaoh?
Decades.
But you've gone.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I think before I drop dead, I want to go to New Year's Eve.
Nah, I
in the
don't
city.
want.
No.
No.
You don't.
I don't
Why?
want that either.
It's disgusting. When you get penned in by the
I
barricades,
got four
you
words.
can't leave. So you would see people like standing in front, like have pissed their pants.
Going to the
leave.
bathroom.
Well, my
That's
wife
like
was
4
telling me
words.
most people wear diapers and they shit in
What?
their diapers. and
Really?
they pee in their
Would you
diapers.
actually do that, bro?
I've heard of
Would you
Baby
shit
New
your diaper?
Year.
If you had no
What
choice, what are you
that's
going
He
to do?
just did.
What?
Yeah. No, I mean, what are you
Holy
going to do?
spare rib,
If you're
Batman.
there and you said you can't get out, you have no choice but to shit in your
Standing there
diaper.
and you're
That's
like,
really
hey, I
bad.
just dropped 2 crab cakes in my pants, and America
2
doesn't know.
crab cakes.
Ooh, crap.
Put a little tartar sauce on those bad boys.
Oh, man.
I've never heard of the crab cakes. Nigel, you're much smarter than the formerly known Stephen Miller.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
All it takes is a famous uncle, and you're famous.
famous.
Oh, man.
So anyway, the big news for me for
can't.
New Year's Eve is you had this marathon going on in each channel. So we had a choice of The Honeymooners,
Nice.
The Odd Couple,
Nice.
Batman, the
Nice.
old 60s Batman,
Yeah.
Good.
and then
Awesome.
the Godzilla Marathon.
Oh, my God.
good.
What channel was that on?
Stars.
Oh, okay. I
But-
missed that
Don't you
one.
rock.
I got hooked into the Batman thing. I was really excited. Then I realized how
Don't
shitty
you dare.
that show is.
Don't you dare. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
It's just like the old matches. Oh, there's an on board for 7 minutes.
Dude,
I'm not engaged.
Would it have hurt?
What was it, the rubber shark that did it for you? What happened?
The rubbish.
After further review, Cesar Romero blows. You're unbelievable.
Wait a
I
minute.
can't. And you know what was really
Go
funny?
ahead.
And you know I was going to do this anyway. Last week, Mr. Mature, I just don't understand why anybody would be into cartoons at this age. Then he's like, Batman Marathon! It's not a cartoon. Batman Marathon!
cartoons.
It's the
I
same
fucking
thing.
hate cartoons.
I love them, bro.
I
I sit
love
there.
yeah,
The reason why I had a child
Yeah.
is so I could watch cartoons
What?
and have it be accepted.
Let me ask you this question.
Smurf
Look, I'm not
marathon.
saying you watch porn
What?
now, but I think at some point in our lives we've all watched
Nope,
porn,
I'm
right?
not.
No.
Oh,
Never
come
watched
on
porn,
now.
Never.
Oh, this is just Pinocchio City here. This is unbelievable.
Miller.
Nigel.
Nigel is
Ay,
lying his ass
ay,
off
ay.
at this point.
Yes, I have. Yes,
No.
yes.
Could you imagine getting into cartoon porn?
No.
I've never tried it, but
They
I was
have it.
wondering.
I gotta
They
tell
do
you-
have it. They
porn?
do
I
have
gotta
it.
tell you though,
Oh my God.
Lois Griffin from Family Guy.
Here we
She's
go.
kind of hot.
Oh, here we
She's
go.
hot.
She's kind of hot. Lois Griffin. Giggity, giggity, giggity,
I can't.
I don't watch that. But
Family Guy's great.
Friggin' hilarious.
I love Family Guy.
But I was hot for was it Daphne?
Daphne from
Daphne.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, she was
Velma?
hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Velma, well, she had those glasses.
Velma.
She was kind of stocky. She had those like
Would
football
you
legs.
come on?
She had football
Oh,
legs.
God.
Body
Football
shaming
legs.
going on.
Listen, I
Can't believe it,
evaluated.
bro.
What?
You can't body shame women in this
body
day and
shame.
What's
age.
going
It's not
on
a woman,
here?
it's
Is body shaming?
They're
They're
body
warming up their
shaming. You
keyboard
call it-
fingers.
you call it
There.
heavy?
There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
we're gonna get
so let me ask you this: Is
Yeah.
this body shaming? Do you think it could have helped Adam West maybe to pick up a weight once in a while? I mean, really, that dude looked like the biggest pussy ever.
You know
man.
what was that?
Yeah.
He was
I
so
could've taken
soft.
that.
You're like,
It's like, and Farrell, you brought up a good point.
What's
Share with
that?
the boys what you said about this, the mayor and the police commissioner.
Oh, I found it hilarious on Batman that their tax dollars were not very hard at work. What I
No,
found
they were always
really
in the office.
well, the bottom line was it was just basically like be good, Commissioner. I can't tie me shoe. This looks like a job, and I hate to do this, but. And they both stare at the phone. It's like, oh my God, Batman basically did their jobs for them. They couldn't do anything, and they
It's a
admitted
little
it.
fucked up.
They were like, we can't do shit without Batman.
Let me ask you something. If you were a bad guy in Batman, would you be scared of Batman?
No.
That guy was like the biggest pussy walking in the
No,
face.
and even worse, like if Robin showed up, I would be like, son, please turn around before you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, right.
There was a guy who was juiced.
Well,
Burt Ward.
let me ask you this
man.
question.
Here
Do
he
you really
comes.
believe that any of the three Catwomans would have been into Adam West?
No.
I don't know.
Well, Adam West wasn't a bad-looking guy. To be honest with you, he wasn't a bad-looking guy.
During the time
His
period, he was
man
probably
looked
doing
like a dickhead, though.
He did look like a
what, the Batusi?
Yes. Not only that, he had like the drawn-in like cartoon
Yeah, like
mask.
The
Not
Batusi.
cool. I was not a fan.
What a way to go.
So-
what about the penguin? What'd you think of the penguin?
The Burgess Meredith penguin.
They were
Any
great.
penguin.
Get up, you son of a bitch,
know-
because Mickey loves you.
Uh,
Oh, no, that's
Well, what,
That's
what,
right.
which of the different
Sorry.
ones? There's a Burgess Meredith
And Danny DeVito.
and Dan Romano.
No, that's right.
Pixels Marinara?
Oh, Pixel, take your finger out of your butthole.
Didn't take long. 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes in.
Remember
I
that?
thought we were going to
Remember
start
that?
off 2019
No,
in a
no,
better
it's
way.
a-
Remember that
Doesn't
episode? Remember
stop.
that episode where Pixels Marinara covered Gotham City with
Duty
Duty Finger?
Oh, yeah,
Remember
Duty
that?
Finger.
That was
Duty
unbelievable. And then Clayface got involved. It was a real mess.
Clayface.
It was really messy. It was oh my
Pixel,
God.
take your finger out of your butthole. No one wants to eat that. Make a helping on to make a gravy.
Oh
Why you always have his finger in his butthole?
my God.
Oh, it never
good
ends.
man.
No,
It's just never ending,
Make
folks.
fun.
really,
You
yeah.
can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the Honeymooners Marathon. So
I love
Oh, wait
the
a minute. We
Honeymooners.
forgot
Love
about the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Not a fan.
okay.
Never
Not a
Oh, I
fan.
like
A
them
writer
too.
such as yourself,
Not
Nigel.
even, not even a gremlin on the airplane?
No.
Wow.
Which was by Kirk, by the way.
Yeah.
Bill
Shatner, baby.
Bill Shatner is one of the great
Played by
actors.
John
What?
Lithgow in the movie.
He is one of the great actors.
The greatest
love-
overactor.
I love
He should have been a
Shatner.
wrestler.
He was in a motor.
I love Shatner. Oh my
Can
God.
you picture William Shatner as a wrestler?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking
I
funny.
should snipe you. Holy
Yeah.
He's got
shit.
great mic skills.
He was
He does.
fantastic,
You're right.
man. He had
You're
all
right.
the presence. He had all the confidence.
To your shows?
So what
Yeah.
is your you're not a Twilight Zone fan.
Well,
so
I
you're
did
out.
have one favorite.
What is your favorite?
The Burgess Meredith one.
Where he breaks
Oh
his
my
glasses.
God, that
Classic.
is so
was
great.
pretty
Pretty good one.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Jim, you have a favorite?
Favorite what?
Twilight Zone?
Yeah, the one with the gremlin on the plane.
That's
That's
a good one, man. You can't
fantastic.
beat that one.
Yeah,
That's a,
that's the best.
How about you there, Farrah?
There's a bizarre one that comes to mind. Remember that very greedy family that never liked the relative who passed away?
That is the
And in the will, he had them all put on the masks.
mask.
Oh, I remember that one.
Oh,
So
man,
good.
those greedy SOBs. They take those masks off. They all look this. Oh, boy.
That was
There
great.
was also one
Yeah.
with Marilyn from The Munsters was on it.
Okay.
She got surgery, and she's beautiful, but everyone around
Has a
her
pig
is
nose.
hideous.
Oh,
That's a
yeah, I
pig
remember
nose.
that. Yup, pig nose.
And she wanted to have pig nose, but they kept on doing plastic surgery. It wouldn't work.
Correct.
The best one is where the aliens come down and they stop
serve
the
man.
Phantom.
To serve
right?
man? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the big payoff?
So they come off and save everybody, and
Oh,
then they bring you
boy.
on a ship to go out. And really, they're just
Don't
gonna
go
eat
up
you.
there. It's a cookbook. To serve
The
man. They thought it
cookbook,
was to
man.
help men. It was
And the
to
other one,
serve
if you
men.
remember, was
Like
there's
on
this
a plate.
lady, old-fashioned lady, and there's like a wood barn, and she's like churning butter or whatever, and these two aliens land, and the aliens are fighting her, and you find out that it's like U.S. astronauts
Right, I remember that
against
one.
a
Yup,
giant
yup.
like old lady.
Crazy.
Good
Wasn't
shit.
that one with nuclear fallout? There was a nuclear bomb and they had a fake town. Was that Twilight Zone?
I think
Was
no,
that Mulberry
it was-
Street?
Yeah, that was
That's
Mulberry
a very
Street.
famous
Yeah,
one where
that's a
they
great
all
one.
wound up fighting each other over.
Right.
It
Scrap.
was so great.
Now,
Scrap.
I don't want to keep jumping back to Batman, but I will tell you, Cesar
right.
Romero was the worst
Would you?
fucking
I can't
Joker
do this.
around.
You can't do this. What are
So
you talking
bad,
about?
so
He was
bad.
awesome.
You gotta watch it over, man.
I
He's
have.
just
He's
bad.
great. Don't
It's
listen.
like
He's a
watching-
hack.
It's like watching the Brady Bunch. I don't get it.
You don't get the
I
Brady
love
Bunch?
the Brady
Get it.
Bunch. What's
I'm
wrong with the Brady
I don't
Bunch?
like them.
Why?
They're unlikable.
Here's the
Until
story.
Jennifer Runyon joined the
of the
team.
screwed
No,
up
that's a whole
family.
different animal.
So when she was
What?
Cindy,
Oh, okay.
Then it was
Then
was
it
she?
was awesome.
Then it was good.
Then it was awesome.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
All right
Poor
there.
Susan Olsen, man. She gets a bad rap.
No, Susan Olsen's
Boy,
awesome.
didn't he really get
She's cool.
screwed? I'll tell you.
She's actually
See
really
you on Monday nights.
Did you hear? Daily Dan's getting back together.
And they're
I'm gonna have a special guest Monday night, Susan Olsen.
That was
My
shit.
favorite
This is
metal band is a Scorpion.
Great.
Anyway.
So bad.
And-
Hey, you three assholes! Mold Larry and the Curly.
All right, so
What do you got?
I'm gonna pass this off to the Pharaoh for wrestling fans out there. We lost an icon just yesterday, right?
Mean Gene Okerlund at the age of 76. You know, I see you have a lot here, but it really goes something like this as far as Mean Gene. They don't make them like him anymore. He was the best at what he did. And nowadays we're unfortunately stuck with, and here we go. Here goes Pharaoh.
Renee Young.
We're stuck with Renee Youngs and Charlies, and it's not like they do such a terrible job. It's just that they don't do what Gene did. Gene was actually more complete as a presentation on television than a lot of the wrestlers around him. He could actually elevate a wrestler through his very presence being on screen with them. He was that good at what he did, and he was one of a kind. I have no idea why they've never attempted to at least let someone else become that person that can enhance an interview instead of all of these faceless, interchangeable. I'm going to say it, a lot of them just Barbie dolls holding a microphone. I want personality behind my interviewer. Vince McMahon was great at it back when we were kids, before everybody knew who he really was behind the scenes. He was a tremendous interviewer. And, for example, when Gene would have a heel, he would cower. He would be disgusted with them, and it sold. He sold it. He really came across like, this is what I believe, you know? Or when there was a good guy, he was very comfortable. He was like, oh, I'm with a good friend. He's awesome. He could put anybody or anything over, any circumstance over. 1 in a million. Died from complications from a fall, from what I understand.
Oh.
Happened about a month ago. I don't know any more details as far as, what happened as far as his, ultimate end. But the last month was obviously very difficult. He had been suffering, slowing down. We saw him
Yeah, we did.
about a year ago, maybe. And
This was a hard one for me because it's like I grew up on that guy, so he was like the icon of commentators. It's funny. I was had a moment of clarity. I was thinking about. I was actually thinking about Evan Ginsberg, who's on Village Connection Radio every
11
Sunday.
a.m. Sunday morning, the most eclectic show on radio.
Thank you. Evan's big into blues, and you think when back in the 20s, 30s, right, or 40s, you try to make a career for yourself, but it really goes nowhere, right? Because there's no established market for all this stuff. And then comes the 50s and the 60s, and then it becomes established, and there's the originators, right? So that's your group of originators. Then you have like 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, where people take those originators and make it better because they become better and stronger.
Or it grows out like a tree.
Right. But now you come into this age where it's very hard to be original.
Yes.
It's very hard to capitalize on anything because everything's been done. So it's like, how do you duplicate a Mean Gene? You can't. It's like the guy is a standalone.
Well, you can try.
You don't have to duplicate it, but there's got to be a way to make another Corey Graves who interviews in the back. Corey Graves has been an awesome revelation of the modern age fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
he's been a great commentator, and it's great to have a great commentator. I believe that there's got to be another one like that out there somewhere. And it doesn't even have to be a male, just in case anybody's thinking that. It could just make someone who's really engaging and the audience can relate to and wants to see them interview them. And, not have so many interchangeable ones. It becomes like that 50-50 booking theory. I can't grasp onto this.
But I think what it comes down to, too, is wrestling itself has more problems than just having announcers. because it's dying at this point. You know, I'm going to keep saying it now. It's starting to die, and it's dying a quicker death than we think.
What's that?
Wrestling.
That's the.
But anyway, you want to talk about Super Dave Osborne, who also passed same day as Mean Gene.
You know, you might be able to fill out the other half of his what he's known for. I remember Super Dave from the Dave Letterman show, obviously. He was really, at least as Super Dave, he had the gift of what I call very dry humor. I found his lines to carry great weight, although they were short and sweet.
Right.
When he would do those crazy stunts, and I remember there was one where they did the special effects where all you saw were his feet and his head. And David was like, "How you feeling?" He said, "My nuts are in my ears," or something like that. It was just the way he delivered things. He was very funny.
He was also an incredible writer.
These things I didn't even realize.
In the 60s, he wrote for like the Smothers Brothers show.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he
No
was a great
idea.
writer.
Well,
I remember him from Bizarre, John Bynum's Bizarre.
Okay.
On Showtime.
Wow.
Before he was on
Okay.
Letterman, because
The
I
old
babysat
Showtime, yeah.
for my neighbor and they had Showtime and we didn't. And I got to see my first boobie on that show.
nice.
Oh,
Boobies.
Okay.
And
Jim said he didn't watch porn.
Is, Dave Osborne on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
with
that's-
Larry David.
Funkhauser.
Funkhauser, one of the
Brilliant.
great characters.
Must have missed
of
something because
all
I never
time.
caught the show much.
The greatest episode ever. Of
You know, I'm
Curb Your
going to say if
Enthusiasm.
if you never saw Curb Your Enthusiasm, you're missing out because it's one of the
The
great
greatest
shows.
episode
Huh?
ever.
Didn't the co-star of that just pass away? That was Super
No,
Dave.
That's him.
Okay, I
That's
saw
him.
something about.
He
Curb
wasn't
Your Enthusiasm.
necessarily co-star,
Can-
but he was a big player.
Can
in
you
the
guys
series.
fill me in on, because I don't know the show, and I'll ask for you guys to fill me in. I heard that there was this one episode, Bart, I did watch it with the Bart man, involving, was it Shaquille O'Neal's sneakers or something like
yeah, I
that?
remember that
What
episode.
was the story
it
with
was
that?
hilarious.
They like booed him out of the building or
Yeah, they
something?
moved Larry David out of the building.
That
But,
was pretty funny.
To me, the funniest episode ever of that show was titled Funkhauser's Crazy Sister, and it was
Oh
with
my
Catherine
God! Bam
O'Hara.
Bam! Bam!
Bam Bam.
Oh
from
my
Second,
God!
From Second City, it was literally one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my life. And if just watch it just once. If you've never watched the show,
How would you compare his Larry David show to other comedies like that style? I find him to be very unique.
I love it. I always.
Is there anything that compares to it? If you had to compare it to another
Seinfeld.
is it
Better than
along those
Seinfeld.
lines? Because
Better than
Seinfeld's very
Seinfeld.
clever too.
It's better than Seinfeld.
I would put Curb Your Enthusiasm in the top 5 greatest shows ever created.
Wow,
comedies. Yeah.
it's that
Any
respectable.
show.
And it's better than Seinfeld because
How many years did it run?
it's still running.
Still running.
Still running.
Disappeared. My wife
Disappeared for
my
like
wife
8
makes
years,
a joke.
right?
He
Wow.
brings a new season every 10 years. Here's a funny thing. So in
least
my
it's still
house, my
going.
daughter hated that show.
Right.
It's a surprise, you know. My wife hated that show. Surprise, surprise. You know. Hey, Mike, you like this show? It sucks.
Yeah.
Right then.
But the funny thing is, we still have a dog that's still alive named Bella.
Does the dog like the show?
She hated it.
Oh my
Every
God!
time
What's
the
going
music-
on here? The dog hates the show.
Every time the music came on, the dog would go nuts.
Really?
Yeah, you know. So that was pretty funny stuff.
What the fuck?
Well, I
dog
found I
hates
would
your
binge
show.
watch it, and after like 3 episodes, I'd have enough of Larry David. I'd be
Really?
like, yeah, that's enough. Because he became a little irritating.
Let me, you talked about that Burgess Meredith episode where,
Yes,
he
he-
glasses. If the world ended, I was the only one alive. As long as I had all seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'd be all right.
If the world ended and I was
If-
the only
if-
one alive, I would take my guitar and headline at Madison Square Garden.
You'd be your own best audience.
I would be my own best.
Yeah,
friend.
you got a standing
would you
ovation,
get the skeletons
too.
of the
Unless you're
rascals
sitting.
and hang them up and play with them?
Don't pick on the rascals. Don't pick on the rascals. That's Monty's go-to.
I know.
He'd be
know,
raised.
right?
He'd
I
make
try to
his,
squeeze it in.
I know,
make
you
his own,
gotta.
make his own banner and raise it at the garden.
Yes.
And this is for all you idiots who ignored them and their legacy. That would be
They
great.
played the garden.
Yeah, you
Why ain't
fucks.
they getting the same respect as Billy Joel?
Billy Joel.
I'm the only guy on Long Island
Oh
who
my
doesn't care
God.
for Billy Joel's music.
Best part is if
you
Miller
might
was,
have
if
company.
Miller was headlining, the garden, the zombies wouldn't even come in.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
What do you
Get
mean
it,
the-
zombies?
Oh, I thought you meant
No,
the...
this is
Steve Miller
real.
did
That's-
headline the garden.
Yes.
Did you really?
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Miller Band.
Oh, Steve Miller Band.
Yeah, he looks at me and goes, "Did you? Yeah, what did I do?" I
You know,
stood
it's
up there,
funny.
hi.
It's funny. Sometimes you get the Steve Miller Band, and then people love our Steve Miller, and then you got the Steve Miller who's in government, and people hate.
Dude, every time that guy does something, because
He gets
his
killed.
first name is spelled with a PH like mine, I
Right.
get
Oh,
hate
you're
mail.
dumb.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude,
why?
I saw someone cursing you out on Facebook.
That's right, because of the thing the guy did in the Trump administration. I'm like,
funny
dude,
stuff,
look
man.
at the picture, moron. It's not me.
What
I
about
was
that
like,
guy
and-
with the
and-
lisp that wrote in? He was mad that you have a PH
Yes.
in your name because he couldn't go Stephen. He went Stephen.
It went Stevens.
He's really annoyed with the
Yeah,
PH.
so I was like,
PH.
guys threatening me on Facebook, and because
Oh, by the way, Jeff Rumpkin wrote in, it wasn't Marilyn from the Monsters, it was Donna Douglas from Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
thank you, Jeff, for fact checking.
Fact checker.
Thanks,
Jeff will
Rumpa.
Jeff will get you straight.
Yeah,
He will.
I'm
all
straight
right.
as an arrow right
I'm
now
surprised.
because my life tilted.
I'm surprised he heard you say that since I had your mic off by accident.
Yeah, thank you, James.
Your mic was
boy.
off.
Just
But
a
that's all
little
right.
bit.
I had nothing to say.
Oh my
It happens.
I had nothing to say because apparently I speak funny.
Why do you
Mike
speak
gave me
funny?
I don't
10
know.
bucks to keep your mic off.
What?
That's not nice.
That's not true.
Mike
Don't
asked me
say
to be
that
on the
nonsense.
show.
I did ask him to be
Thank
on the
you.
show.
Nice.
Mr.
Why are you
Savali.
just mean, Jim? You're flat
He's
out
mean to me.
All right,
We're
let's-
partners
let's
when
not-
no one else
let's
is here.
not- Let's not forget about the captain from Captain and Tennille.
Oh, yeah.
Daryl Dragon.
It was a rough day yesterday. Farrah, you got something to talk about that?
Well, if I can be a little corny, it goes back. I had the 45 of Love Will Keep Us Together.
And his
Yes.
corn.
What do you want? Yeah. What
That
do you
explains
want?
a lot.
Does it really? Does it really? Jimmy! Can you tell? Can you?
room?
You know what? Fucking clarify. What does it explain, Jim?
No.
if you had Love Will Keep Us Together
Yeah.
and
Love.
porn on at the same time,
Porn? I was
explains-
7. How
Yeah,
could I
and you
have
have
You
porn?
said you were watching porn.
I
No, he
did
didn't.
not. What is going on with this guy?
You are?
He's got porn
No,
on
he's
the
gonna
brain.
help.
Never saw
No,
porn.
I'm on your team,
Thank
Pharaoh.
you,
and
God.
you're
What's
welcome.
going on
Wait,
here?
Farrah said he
Although
didn't-
I do think it's funny that you had the 45.
I did. I had the 45.
I had the Bay City Rollers
45.
45. I'll admit
And you're
to
making
it.
fun of me.
Well, Bay City.
Pharaoh's mom would be like, honey, what were you doing up
They
there? He's
love
like,
that song.
He's like, it's just muscular love.
Love.
Muskrat
Just
Love. First of
that was a
all,
great
I like
one.
the version from America.
America had the version.
That's
yes.
the version
Yes.
I like.
Were you guys hot for Tennille?
Oh, here we
Yes.
go. Here we go.
Yes, I was.
No.
You weren't
Yes,
hot
I
for
was.
Tennille?
No, I was 7 or 8.
I was like-
wasn't hot for Tennille.
I was
What's going
like
on
11.
here?
I was
When
like
you're 8 years
11.
old, you're hot for women?
When I
What
was
is
11,
going on?
I was
Well, you
hot
started-
for any woman. See, but that was the 70s when they used to come on
I'm
TV with like
baffled. I
the
really am.
with the side boob and all
Yeah,
that. That
oh,
was
yeah,
awesome.
There's a lot
With
going
the
on.
side
I don't know
boob.
if it's
You're
just
Peter
me.
Griffith here. Check out this
It
side
might just be
boob.
me, but I always wanted to slap that fucking captain's hat off that dude, man.
Yeah, it was a little
It's like, you
weird.
fucking-
Nice,
You're weird,
nice
dude.
the way you speak of the dead.
No, but no, I don't
My
mean
God, what's
tough
going
now
on
that he's
here?
gone.
You must have felt really good about
Come
us.
on! Bring it, man!
Come on,
Right
come
Right here,
on,
I'm right here.
Well, you
come
know
on,
what?
Captain, suck it.
You know what? If the hat wasn't enough, we
Man
switch.
up, dude.
If the hat wasn't enough, we switch over to the eye patch because now you can talk about Dr. Hook.
Dr. Hook, go ahead on that. buddy.
she-
That was
Sylvia's
another one
mother.
that stunk. I wasn't too
Here
thrilled
we
with
go
that.
again.
Didn't they do the cover of
Is
the
that what
Rolling
we said
Stone?
last year when all the celebrities started dying? Here we go.
Yeah, but
again.
Dr. Hook's not actually a
again.
celebrity.
Oh,
Here
here
we go
we
again.
go.
No, you got
Oh,
two
he
hits.
is. He is.
Wait, Dr. Hook?
Dr. Hook
Dr.
was a
Hook.
celebrity.
I could have sworn he had some big hits.
I'll tell you.
He had the cover of the Rolling Stone
I will
song.
tell you though how bands
Yes.
fall out of grace.
Whoa.
I was in the military.
When they suck?
And I was in the military, and I was in Louisiana, and where the portion I was in Louisiana was right near the border where Houston, Texas was.
Oh.
So we used to go over to Houston, and I went to a bar.
You'd kick it at Gillies?
It was pretty close. Inside that bar was Dr. Hook and what is it?
Brownsville
Who
Station.
sings "Lonesome Loser"?
Have
Little
you
River
Band.
heard
Little River Band.
Little River Band?
I walk in, it's like Dr. Hook featuring the Little River Band, and Dr. Hook was playing disco, right? He played a lot of disco.
Yeah, well, he metamorphed a few times. Go on.
So yeah, so that's the story. All right.
That's
Sorry,
it?
It was anticlimactic.
So what happened?
Yeah, it really was,
Played
because there's
Baby
usually
Makes a Blue Jeans
Wait, that was
talk
the
or
whole
something.
story?
That was the story?
You remember? That's the story.
When you tell a story, have a point. It makes it so much more enjoyable
Change
for the listener.
story,
Rumpkin just wrote.
Rumplick.
Rumpkin just wrote.
Rumpkin.
Whatever the fuck.
Like
his
he's
name is.
rhymes with a pumpkin. It's Rumplick.
I never
Oh
could
my
get that.
God.
The
name
rump.
straight.
I can't anymore.
rump.
Rump lick.
Now he makes it sound
It's
completely.
not Rumplik.
I can't get Jim's face. It's like he sucked on a lemon. What's going on here?
What did he say? What did the
Jeff,
rough animal say?
Jeff Rumplik said,
Can't.
he said, please, when you tell a story, have a funny ending to
Yeah,
it.
please. Would you
Wow.
take some advice from the Rumpa?
Wow.
Oh my God.
The
it
Rumple's
really
a funny guy.
Rumplik?
Yeah.
What did you think it was? What were you saying?
Rumplik.
Rumpelmans.
Whatever.
Oh,
I
I
don't know.
can't anymore.
Fuck do
Rumpelmeyer.
I know?
Rumpernickel?
Rumpel.
Well, you don't know, Jeff is the studio artist.
That's
he does
right.
A fantastic
Jeff
job.
Quest.
I think maybe he was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, wait now.
He was.
These guys are a bunch
He's
of
a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
He's a good man, the Rumpa.
So yesterday
lost
was really
4,
bad.
man. Yeah.
Yesterday was really bad.
We lost 4.
So if you have to,
We
if
have
you
one
guys,
day.
I hate to do this, but if you had to rate the biggest death of yesterday, which one would you rate? it?
Gene
come on
Okerlund.
now,
Gene
Gene.
Okerlund.
Yeah, that's the biggest
For
death of
me,
yesterday.
obviously.
Jim's struggling.
The captain? I mean, he never said
I'm gonna have to
nothing.
say Super Dave Osborne.
Super Dave
All
Osborne.
right.
He was my first real.
Gene for me, obviously.
I got to say Gene
Yeah, I know, I'm
Okerlund.
sorry, guys. I should leave the room.
Here's a question. Here's another question.
Ask away,
Has
my
there
friend.
ever been someone that passed that wasn't someone you didn't know, someone that wasn't related to you, some that passed that you were just emotionally distraught about, and maybe even shed some tears for?
No.
Jim?
Well, when you say
quite
you
the question,
didn't
by the
know,
way.
it means they weren't
That's pretty deep.
famous.
No, they were
They
famous.
probably
They were
famous would be.
famous.
Probably famous. Look, if the pizza guy in
I know
Farmingdale
this
died,
is
would you
sound
cry?
kind of
No.
corny, but
Yes.
I was a little upset when George Bush died.
That's famous, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you cry? Did you shed tears?
I actually did when
Wow.
his son gave his eulogy.
Good for you.
I mean, that was
good.
One
Puss.
president to another.
That was
father
good, by
to
the way.
Son to
Great.
father.
That was.
Great.
That
I
was
mean,
good.
it was. So, look, I'm getting chills just thinking about it because it was
Puss.
so. I mean, George Bush gave a lot of good speeches. That was his best.
Right.
It's either that speech or the weed you're smoking. It's giving
Yeah,
you-
well, I'm gonna start crying in a second.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
still crying now.
I miss you, Captain.
What about you, Farrah?
That's not a good question.
By the way, Jim, I love your patriotism, man. There's nothing better than
I
this
do
in
like
this
Jim's
country.
patriotism.
God
He's
bless this USA.
I don't know if it's fair to ask Captain Bipolar here whether or not he got emotional. But, hey.
You got emotional when Greg Valentine was on the telephone.
You really got to calm down. That's me
that-
getting emotional
Is
towards
that
you.
Valentine on the phone?
I can think of 2 times right off the bat. One was with my father when John Lennon was murdered.
Oh,
That was horrendous, and we were both very
I was
very
watching
upset.
Monday Night Football with my pops.
It was bad. And then another one happened later on that is nothing in comparison as far as the way the world was affected by it, but my world was affected by it when I was 18 going on 19. I remember it was freezing out. It was cold, very cold winter, that particular winter, when the Metallica's bus flipped and Cliff Burton died. And
Wait,
you got to
he died?
forgive... Excuse me?
Cliff Burton of Metallica.
Cliff Burton, the
I didn't
bass
know that.
player from
Yeah,
Metallica.
the
He
bass
died
player.
in the
Yeah.
bus crash. But,
Volleys.
well, anyway, now that Jim is busy urinating on my generation, you know what? Fuck you and the Lonesome River Boys or whatever the fuck they were.
The
You
Lonesome Loser.
fuck.
The
Anyway,
little liver band.
Whatever the fuck they were. When you're in love
Man,
with
it's not
a
like Thursday
beautiful
nights,
bong
man.
hit.
Oh, man.
Life could be
It's
terrible.
good.
Thursday nights, just make
You
it
gotta laugh.
It starts
If
off.
you don't
it
laugh, you
starts
cry,
off
my
with
He
the-
friend.
asked me a
starts off with
serious
the-
question and then he piddles on it. It's
Listen,
like, what do you want
it
from
starts
me?
off
And
with
he's
the
loving
crowd and
it.
it ends
He's
with the
loving
chorus.
it. There's nothing he takes more pride
I
in.
thought that was funny. Like,
What do we
I
think
just-
was
I
funny?
started
It is
crying.
funny. My reaction is funny.
It is funny.
But it was just, it was heartbreaking. I was like, fuck. I mean, Metallica was our band, you know, and they came up through those years when we were in junior high. Nobody even knew who they fucking were. I mean, I got a hold of them through, like, you know, trading records and bootlegs, and they were never played on the radio. Then they became huge. They were our band.
Right.
And then that happened, and that sucked. And there's been other times, you know. I there's some people I don't look forward to passing away. I'm going to be destroyed if Hogan, God forbid,
Oh, that's gonna
anything
suck.
happens to
Hogan.
Hogan.
Wait.
Now you can
wait,
really make
wait,
fun
wait,
of me.
Wait.
Yeah.
You said if God forbid anything happens to him, I gotta tell you something,
What?
bro.
Oh, no,
it's,
what?
It's obviously probably gonna happen eventually.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Well, that's the truth. There people get old
Unless
and
you
they
go
die.
first, you know.
What? Well, that could happen.
No,
too.
no, thank
I
God,
have
please.
not been
God
on a
forbid.
roll,
God
so-
forbid. God
I've not
forbid.
been on
God
a roll.
forbid.
so you
What
know.
were you
God
talking
forbid.
about?
Hulk D. Hogan.
Are you back with us?
Hulk D.
I'm back.
Hogan.
He said, God forbid if something happens to Hogan. I said,
Like something
chances
like
are
that,
something will.
yeah.
Eventually.
Chances are something's gonna happen to all of us, right? So.
Oh,
Hey,
dear.
I
Chances
can't-
And this is Happy Hour with Monte and the
Johnny
Pharaoh.
Mathis. Chances are
that
you
bastard's
might
still
Dude, I
hanging
will
on.
tell you, if Hulk Hogan dies,
Hulk the
I'll
Hogan.
probably cry my ass off.
Yeah,
I will not.
Be ruined. Jim, who would make you go all Pharaoh like? Oh my God! Come on,
Pharaoh-like, I like
It
that.
would be
gotta be
me
somebody.
I'll
if
make you go Pharaoh.
If I
Let's
died,
come on. Let's not even
I'm
mess
thinking
with that.
about,
all
Don't
right?
say- don't
about
say-
We're not being
3
serious.
yellow
You stop
pills
that.
and 2 red pills.
No, seriously, who would it be for you? I mean, we've already lost some people you really love.
Okay, so
I
would have
Lennon's
to say,
gone. I know you loved him. Morrison's gone. I know you loved him.
I would say, and there might be some haters in the room, but
What?
I would say Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate
Okay,
him.
I would
Well,
understand
because
that.
over the past couple of years, he's made a douche out of
Well,
himself.
I ignore the political
Well,
crap.
I'm going
now.
to tell you something.
Look, if he's not a slice of Americana, I don't know.
Bruce
who-
Springsteen
come
is
on,
an American.
Yeah.
in this country has a right to voice
Yes.
his
Yes, he
opinion and
does.
do
Yes, he
whatever he
does.
wants. Like that asshole from Pink Floyd.
Oh,
that sits there
there
working
you
on a
go.
goddamn work
I hate Israel. I hate America.
In Oyster Bay,
I'm
on
in
a
the
working
Hamptons.
piece of
Yeah.
visa. And they've asked him how come he
Fuck.
hasn't gotten his, his green
please.
card. He's like, why bother?
Why bother, right?
And meanwhile,
Please.
you don't listen, dude. You don't have a right to talk about anything about this country.
Well, apparently
That's
he's
right,
gonna.
scumbag.
He's gonna anyway.
And by the way, I felt the same way about the Beatles too,
What?
because they were they citizens of this country? What right do you have to talk about anything about this
Yeah,
country?
they're bitching about politics.
Yeah,
They
fuck
didn't
off.
bitch about
Talk-
politics.
What the fucking guy
John
laid
went-
in bed with Yoko Ono
John
for
went nuts
a week.
about politics.
Come on.
Yeah, Yoko's gross.
No, my whole point is like
That's the biggest.
you can talk
problem.
about politics, but stick to your
Well,
home
forget
country.
about
right?
politics. You're one of the foremost famous people in the world, and you pick Yoko. What's your problem?
He loved her. Beauty's beyond the beholder. Not everybody's about looks like you, Miller. You always got that.
What?
I'm very, upfront about it. I
You
can't
are.
be.
It's all about
Shallow.
the looks.
It's all about. I'm shallow.
You're
Shallow Hal.
I'm shallow as a puddle, my friend. Shallow as a puddle.
Shallow Nigel.
Shallow Nigel McConnell.
Nigel
But you know what?
what he said.
Jim, I'm glad you stand by me with that, though. You want to talk about this country? you gotta be a
Stand
citizen.
by me.
What do you think
Well,
about that, Farrah?
Yeah. Well, I'm okay
I
with
mean,
that.
you can
Why
open up a whole
not?
can of worms with this. I don't want to have haters, but yeah, you shouldn't open your mouth.
You know what's funny?
Well, talk about your own country, right? Don't
Yeah.
talk about this country.
Well, it's funny. One of my fathers, God rest him, when we went to war in 2003, and the German chancellor got on TV and said, "This is not right." Blah blah blah. My father turns to me and goes, "You got to get 100 years from the Holocaust before you could say a word, crowd." He's like, "Screw you,
boy.
you
Oh,
German
ouch.
assholes.
Ouch.
Germans, French. Screw you. I want freedom fries, you frogs."
Oh, my God.
See that?
I hear
God,
Richie Vaughn down in Florida. What the fuck?
what I say? I'm defending Pete. I hate Germans. Germans are the worst.
Wow.
Sensitivity training this Sunday.
No,
for
Germans
David Miller.
Germans are the worst.
Matter of fact, that'll be $60.
Bring back Miller. This guy
It's normally
Nigel's crazy.
40.
Nigel McCartney's crazy.
Nigel McCartney's
Yeah, Nigel
crazy.
McCartney's like out of his mind compared to Stephen Miller.
Hey, my
What's
Uncle
going on
Paul
here?
would say differently.
All right, come
Oh,
on.
my
Let's talk a little
God.
wrestling.
We
We've
have
got
to?
the plumbers
Let's
coming
talk
in.
some
Yeah.
grappling.
Let's talk
Fine,
some
we'll
wrestling.
talk some wrestling.
This
This
is a wrestling show.
Oh, my God.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
All right.
Talk some wrestling.
Jim can roll one up now. What do you
ahead,
got?
bro.
Oh, you want me to start? All
Yeah,
right, I'll
do your
start
thing.
first. Well, something very interesting has happened, and I've warned that one day this would happen. I don't know where it's going to lead, but I kept saying that eventually someone's going to hook up with a really rich guy in this business, and they're going to convince him to do a promotion, and it's going to the only way it can ever give Vince any real headaches if it's someone who's as rich as Vince. Well, here we go. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks have announced the beginning of AEW All Elite Wrestling, and they are now officially partnered up with the Khan family, who own the Jacksonville Jaguars and
Told
own
you.
Fulham,
Who said it here first?
and own Fulham.
Right? Does everybody remember when I told you
Soccer
this was
club
happening?
and
And everybody
all this
goes,
stuff.
"Don't know. You don't know what you're talking
You know,
about."
so there it is.
There you go.
We said this shit was going to come
That's
down,
it.
and
Wrestling's-
now Vince McMahon is going head to head real soon with a billionaire.
Nice.
This is going to be
problems.
interesting.
Could be problems.
Do you think
Yeah,
there's
but
a shot
competition. But competition
Competition's
makes.
great for the.
here? By
For
the way,
business.
names are leaking already. I don't know if you heard.
Dolph Ziggler.
Names are leaking. No, names are leaking
Please
already.
go.
Omega, Jericho, and here's one that no one would think.
Hulk the Hogan.
Goldberg.
Goldberg, yeah.
Goldberg. So here we go. The money train.
Here's the
Here we
problem.
go.
You're right.
Can you say
Competition
Ted
does,
Turner?
competition does
know?
bring the best of you.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting around doing nothing and you're getting fat like me for 10 years,
What is
all of a sudden
going
when you got to compete, you're not ready.
You're
Right.
not in shape.
And,
Right.
and they are not in shape. Their writing
Right.
is bad. this may be what you've been looking for, my friend.
Look at Pharaoh.
And
He's so jacked.
Pharaoh.
Well, you know what?
Geeked up.
That's
And you
why
know
he's
what,
the
though?
man.
But here's why this will turn out for we all win, because once Vince is forced to get better, he's going to.
No,
So
might be too late.
what? Triple H will respond. We win. We win. This
So
is good.
their response to
This
this
is
whole
good.
thing, gentlemen, is they brought John Cena back
Right.
Dun,
With,
dun, dun, dun.
with a brand new haircut.
with a brand new
nice.
haircut.
Yeah, I had the same haircut
He looks-
when I
you
was
don't.
7.
Yeah.
So now they're promoting
Oh, my
John
God.
Cena as the greatest of all time.
The
Which-
GOAT.
The GOAT. And I would tell you, he's in
Sorry.
my top 5. Don't think he's the greatest of all
No,
time.
I don't think he's the greatest. of
Listen,
all
you got
time
Hulk
either.
Hogan, you got Bruno
Hulk
Sammartino,
Hogan.
you got Bruno Sammartino. I don't care what anyone says. Is still in my top
You got,
2.
you got Piper, you got Flair, you got Savage.
Ric Flair,
But you know what?
Savage.
Cena is in the conversation.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the room.
You know what Cena's constrained by? The era that he was in.
Right.
I mean,
That has
you're
something to do
constrained.
with it.
That's what I'm saying. Remember we were talking earlier about like you're able to grab something and keep going with it?
Yes.
Cena, to me, and I think to a lot of wrestling fans, is the last great wrestler. Forget about
Okay,
just the
yeah, I
wrestling
understand
part.
what you're saying.
He's the last of the Mohegans, man. He's been out of it really for 10
quite a
years,
while,
right?
yeah.
To be fair, as a main player, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating the years,
Right.
When was the last time a young wrestler came up that the fans loved and latched onto, and Vince allowed it to maintain itself, though?
Wow.
Well, I will.
That's part of what the problem is,
Well,
because there was many times where you'll see a new star and the fans freaking love him, and Vince is like,
AJ
nope.
Styles.
back. I don't
AJ
know how I became
Styles.
Chris Berman right now, but it's the truth.
AJ, a little
You know?
late to the dance. Great wrestler.
True.
A little late to the dance.
True.
Becky Lynch is hot on fire, right? So
Yes.
they put Becky with Cena this week.
Yes, they
Right?
did.
They did a little program with the two. Pretty smart.
Yep.
Smart booking.
That was good.
Yes.
And at the end of the match, Becky kind of pushes Cena out of the ring, right?
Well, she basically just dissed him. You know,
Dissed
she gave
and
him She
dismissed.
gave him the "I can't see you" stuff and all of that. You know, and you won't be the only one to get your ass knocked down. She was basically saying she could knock him on his ass, and I was like, oh boy.
Now, can I can I share something that really pisses me off?
Yes.
All right. And this wasn't on the original script, but I just started thinking about it.
Go ahead.
So, this fucking Nikki Bella is now with her Dancing with the Stars partner.
Right.
What's
So,
that?
it-
Oh, it's the TV show.
the TV
okay.
show. So
yeah.
she was on Dancing
She was
with the
dating
Stars.
John for how long? Forever, right?
So you know what? She broke up with John, just like every little whore out there. She must have been sleeping with this dude and dropped our John Cena.
For a
Must-
freaking
Well,
dancer.
you know
For
what? She was probably
ballerina.
cheating on the guy. She
For,
was probably
for a ballerina.
she's probably cheating on him.
Oh yeah, she was definitely.
Ooh, can
And
you
that-
mambo for me?
I mean, come
Get
on.
out
man.
of here, you
how,
bitch.
How off is that? Man?
That's terrible.
That really bothered me.
That's terrible.
What'd you think?
I concur, Monty.
I basically, what was the word you used earlier? Shallow?
Oh, shallow.
yeah, but the guy's a dancer. It's not like he's like a football player.
No, I'm not
nothing.
talking about the dancer. I'm talking about the selector. Nikki
Yeah,
Bella
but that's what I'm saying,
Strikes
is
me
like-
as incredibly shallow.
Yeah, she's really shallow.
I don't know her.
And
it's a blanket statement, but that's the vibe I
How
get
did she
from
do
her.
on Dancing with the
You
Stars,
know,
by
and
the by?
She actually was a very good dancer. She got
I'm not
knocked off
surprised.
fairly early,
You know?
but
Yes.
she was fantastic.
It was like Gopher from the Love Boat and shit on that show, because they normally
No,
have
they
like
had they had the
D-listers.
dude from what was that? The guy from iRobot and
Oh, I don't know.
Will Smith. The Will Smith show.
Okay. I bet he's
No,
good
it wasn't
dancer.
Will Smith though. It was the other dude, the brother in the show.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah.
You got me on that
No
one.
one
I can't
knows.
remember that.
The
but
brother.
You know what? It really just bothered me. Like they just, I know they broke up a little while ago, but it's like she's already flaunting it, and she's flaunting it with her partner. Don't give me this bullshit story that you guys were friends.
We were
and then you
buddies.
hooked up just recently. All of a sudden, you had a
right.
love connection. You guys were boning on Dancing
Yep,
with the Stars, and you're like, okay, how do I get rid of John Cena without getting Vince mad at me?
Anybody who publicly states, and this is what she stated before any of this happened, that she said this after everybody knew they had broken up, her and
Right.
Cena, but she said, I need to date a celebrity. She actually said this.
I've said
And
that.
I thought
Nikki.
to myself, wow, you are the last person I would ever want to get to know.
I've said that, and celebrities keep getting restraining orders.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
There you go.
speaking
That
of
would be a
the-
problem.
I mean, you guys don't really like her that much?
Boo!
No, I don't like the fact that you hook up with the guy you were dancing with and act like you broke up with your boyfriend and then hooked up with him. That's the oldest game around.
If she's with the Dancing with the Stars guy and we have her on our radio show and you guys,
Oh, she comes in the
would
studio?
you be upset that, What do
you mean? If she was a
I don't
guest
know
on
who's
our
listening.
show?
What the hell do I look like? Pixels Milano with my obsessiveness?
would you guys,
What-
would you guys
Yeah.
What do you mean?
make a move on her?
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Would you make a move on her? You hate her that much?
First of all,
If
I
you
knew-
were single.
I'm
If you
so
were single.
confused.
Did I say I
can't
hate
figure
her?
out if he wants us to punch her or to grab her. I can't.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
Speaking of guests coming to the studio, we got Marty Jannetty on January
Marty
26th
Jannetty,
from
round
12 to
two.
1:30,
Ding,
round
ding,
2.
ding.
He'll be live in studio. Remember
Will
our
he
last
be?
experience
Will he
with
be
Mr. Jannetty?
live?
in the studio. There's another guy out there that says, "That's my boy, Marty G."
Marty
What?
G.
Yes.
Marty G.
Marty G.
Marty G.
Oh boy.
Marty G.
He goes, "That's my boy, Marty G."
Yeah, yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Come on,
it's like
Pixels.
Sergeant Spelling strikes
know.
again.
Oh,
But
my
right
God.
after
Oh,
that,
my
right after
God.
that, we've got Shane Douglas. He'll
The
be signing
franchise.
autographs and taking
He's a good
pictures,
guy, man.
and
I
he'll
met
be in
him. He's a
studio
good
with an
dude.
interview,
Nice.
which is awesome.
He was a good dude, man.
Well, speaking of restraining orders,
What?
my
Alexa
girl
Bliss?
Alexa Bliss is now going to do her own segment,
Mrs.
which
Miller?
she claims is much better.
Dude, she crept on Piper.
She crapped on
Should
paper.
I turn his
all
mic
over
off again?
You really should. This Mrs. Miller shit really pisses me off.
That's not nice.
It
Turn
isn't
my mic
right.
off.
It's not
So
right.
she says it's going to be then better than Piper's Pit. Do you think that's even possible?
No.
No,
She's got great on the mic.
she's
Dude,
not Roddy Piper.
until
She's a friend of
Monte
ours.
on the
And she's a
mic.
friend of our show.
Oh, it's going to be the
It's gonna
greatest
be
show
great
ever.
until she hits Tamina in the head with a coconut. It's all over.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
They should do
They
that.
really should do that. Miller, you're hired, dude.
McCartney, you're hired,
Dude, could you imagine that they do that?
dude.
whole
That would be
skit?
the first thing I would write.
Move over, Dewey.
That would be the first thing I
You
would
done
write.
good, Miller. You do it done
McCartney's
good
in-
right
Yeah,
now.
watch when they do it, and I'll be like, I said this.
Meanwhile, over in
You
England,
stole my ideas.
McCartney scratching his head as the credits are rolling. Who the hell is
Who's my
scratching the
nephew?
Who's Nigel?
It's like, who's
Hi, Uncle Paul.
Who's that?
Hi, Uncle
bloke?
Paul.
Dude, that
Oh
would
my
be
God.
awesome if Alexa does the
That's
whole
why I should be
thing.
writing for WWE.
Oh my God,
right
I'll be
now.
waiting for that.
To me.
How awesome would that be,
Hit
man?
Tamina in the head with
Are
a
you kidding
coconut,
me? I
like
feel bad
Piper
for
hit
the
the
coconut. What are you
Superfly.
talking
Or
about?
at least pull out a chicken for Naya or something.
Oh,
Chicken
my
ain't enough. You need a
God.
turducken for that load.
Here, eat this, Naya.
Oh.
She's a big one. She moves well for a big woman, though.
She does.
She does. Nia
You know,
Jax.
speaking of Nia Jax, she tweeted
tweeted.
recently about,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We're here. So the WWE was promoting.
Where was that? At Golden Corral?
Pull up to the Red Square.
Thank you. Thank you.
So they promoted all
God.
the WWE women superstars who happen to be Caucasian, and I guess she took offense to it, and you know,
Yeah, why
tweeted,
not?
What about us? I think.
What about you?
What about us?
What
I
about
liked Evan's
you?
response. He was like, I just saw you main event at the Garden, and the next night Oscar main evented at the Garden. How the hell does this even apply? I thought it was
Now
great.
put on my Art Blakely records.
Listen. The
What
last
the hell is this?
You know-
Man capsizes George Washington Bridge trying to cross it. What the hell is that?
What?
It says load capsizes George Washington Bridge trying to cross it.
Oh.
Something happened that I'm not
Still-
aware of?
God, what happened in 2019?
Where'd it go there, Peter Pothole?
We were going to be nicer.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Sorry, that lasted the better part of
How
40
about the
seconds.
whole Nia
And now
thing?
I'll wait for the three
She's
assholes.
not even African American. She's Samoan. Since when did Samoans become like? When was
A race.
racist against Samoans? What about me? The Samoans are there's a
don't
big
know.
race riot against Samoans.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
It's,
don't-
you're Samoan. It's
And
like
you're
saying,
Samoan.
you're picking on me because I'm Greek. No, I'm picking on you because you're fat.
Oh my God.
I said it again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be
You're
nice.
getting us all
You're
sorts of
picking on
hate
me.
mail.
I'm sorry. You
You're
send the
picking on me
hate.
because I have a duty finger.
I got the duty finger. Hey, Pixel, come help Nonna make a sauce.
Come on, make a sauce.
Why you always have a finger in your bunghole?
Real quick question there, Pharaoh. You're a big fan. Nakamura.
I got a finger in my bunghole.
He's got a finger in your bunghole.
What do you want? What do you want?
Nakamura.
What do you want, Monty?
Nakamura.
Every time I'm trying to concentrate. What do you want?
Nakamura packing it in?
Yeah, he might be. He might be leaving for Japan. We'll see. His contract is up right around WrestleMania.
That's a
time.
shame.
Yeah, I think it is. I'll miss him.
I don't blame him.
I think he's great.
I don't blame him going back to
No, I don't
Japan.
blame
Why?
him either.
I don't blame him for packing it. He sucks anyway.
Would you stop? He's awesome. He's had shit writing. Leave him alone.
Terrible.
Dude, I could kick his ass.
Oh, I can't do this anymore with Kung Fu Miller over here.
Dude, the guy's like...
Kung Fu Nigel.
The guy's like...
Yeah, Kung Fu Nigel.
The guy's
Right,
like...
sorry.
The guy's like 5'9", 180.
5'9", 180. What's Balor?
And he does
3'4",
Bring
120?
Bring it,
Does
Kung Fu.
gyrations.
Bring it, Kung Fu.
my
While he's doing his gyrations, I'm doing the old... Pa, pa, pa. Yeah.
Oh, man. Knee to face.
Hello.
AJ Styles to meet Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. How you feeling about that? Excited?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
That's the old Daniel
Yes.
Bryan.
Oh, okay. This is
New
new
Daniel Bryan doesn't do that.
No.
New
No.
Daniel Bryan yells at you about the ecosystem.
So, we keep talking about the WWE.
That's cool.
Do you feel like they made Bryan a heel because they kind of just wanted to ruin him? And
No,
wipe
I think
out
he's
that
doing
whole
a
good
good
guy
job.
stuff
I
out.
think he's
Not that
actually
he's not
good.
doing a
Enjoying
good
it.
job, but now he's a bad guy. So now you got all the people that were rooting for him, and now kind of hate him.
Good.
Right?
Fine. At least it's fresh. It's different.
So what happens
Yes.
after he loses his belt?
What do you
His
mean?
pants fall
I
off.
don't think he's going to lose them. His pants fall off.
Boom, boom. These are the jokes, people. Is this thing on?
man.
This is
Hello?
an audience or an oil painting? Hello?
Captain, it's very hard to argue with that. Oh my God, his pants fell off. I don't think he's going to lose the belt for a while. I think it's going to be a pretty meaningful title run for him.
Oh, so you're saying that WrestleMania will be Daniel Bryan against somebody and Brock Lesnar against Seth Rollins? Oof. That's going to be a great WrestleMania.
That's a new one.
I don't know. I don't know
They
about
sure
that.
you want to hold on to the
What
title?
about
Brock-
The Rock? You're ignoring my
Brock
fantasy
Lesnar
thing where
versus-
The Rock comes out and wins the Rumble. That's what's going to happen. That's what's got to happen. The
holding to
Rock
that?
comes out and wins the Rumble. I'm not predicting it because I suck at predictions lately.
Honestly, I think your predictions were good, dude.
No, you're right. Recently,
My
I-
per-
You know, by the
predictions
way,
were awful.
Nigel, I got a problem with that.
Nigel?
We did predictions 2
And I got
weeks ago.
crushed.
You got destroyed, and the Pharaoh killed you.
Yeah, he did. I readily
killed you.
admitted it
But
on
that's-
air.
But
That's
you
not
put
in-
falsification on
Jim, notice I'm trying to say
previous
this is not
shows
important.
about the Pharaoh getting beat.
No, what you're trying to
you
say is
pixeled
that the
it.
one time I
Oh,
slipped,
I-
Pixeled
he
it.
killed me.
You pixeled.
Yeah, the one time he
I
sucked.
slipped once and you were like, ha ha, you're down.
Yes, and I trampled on the grave.
I was like, what?
right,
No, I
grave?
readily admitted
Oh,
that the
God.
Pharaoh whipped my ass the
Oh,
last
stop
time.
it. Would you please?
That's all right.
You're setting me up for, God forbid, if I ever have another bad card, it's going to be
He's
like...
going to get you. He'll get you.
Nigel?
Nigel?
Nigel.
Nigel and Steven. Which
Nigel's
one?
very nice.
So Ronda and Natty defeated
Oh,
Naya
God,
and
who
Tamina.
cares? Yeah, your favorite. Tamina.
How do you guys feel about the women's tag team title? You think it's going to breathe life into the WWE?
No.
Nope. And this was, again, what a stupid way to end the show. I'm not looking to tune in next week when you ended with this. This is the stuff that makes Jim laugh at wrestling.
Yes.
I'm like, stop.
So wait a minute, it's New Year's Eve. You chose? Did you choose Raw over the Honeymooners and the Odd Couple and Batman?
No, I got a DVR. I choose Raw and whenever I want to.
So Raw's not a must see anymore, dude. Right?
It's
No.
about as much see as my Honeymooners DVD collection
There
that I
you
can
go.
put on whenever I want.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
must-see
funny when they
anymore.
put these marathons on. I have all of these shows on DVD, so it's like whatever.
It's not a must see anymore. It just
it's
is
not.
not.
It's not.
It's hard to admit it, but how many times can I watch Dolph Ziggler walk out and I just go
But
out?
he's here to show the world.
All right, I'm putting on
Don't you
anything
listen to
but
the music?
this. Yes, I can't. And every time, like I said, I drive my kid back to school, back to college, past WWE headquarters, I slow down and enough with Dolph Ziggler. Vince, fuck you.
Oh, it looks like he might be finally jettisoning. So.
Oh, that's a shame. Bye.
Soon there'll be nobody. Vince is high. You put on the run sheet. Vince high Mandy Rose. What's going on there?
You know, Mandy Rose is starting to get a little bit more.
Boy,
There you go.
Oh, she's smoking,
He
dude.
That's what I mean.
feels that she could.
Even though New Jack thought her ass was flat.
that was weird.
Dude.
We'll go
that
back
was
to
weird.
a past episode of Monty the Pharaoh, the
was
Gangsters
weird.
20-year reunion.
Yeah, New
He
Jack
thought
was
her
like,
ass was flat.
all right, it's flat.
New Jack
And I was
services
like,
on
oh.
New Year's Eve. The clock hits 12, and Facebook post, "Hope you motherfuckers are all drunk and butt ass naked." And I was like,
Nice.
"It's great."
New
Jack
Jack.
is great.
A lot of
Vince
filter
is
there.
very high on Mandy Rose because he feels that she might be another Trish Stratus type. That is high praise. That's the greatest wrestler, basically, in the history of women's wrestling in his
Sorry,
company.
Fabulous Moolah.
You know, but it's not. You'll never see another Moolah.
Hopefully.
Thank God.
You know.
And then they give Apollo Crews an Intercontinental title shot. I mean, they have a chance to really do something, and that's who they give it to.
I could hear you laughing when this was going
Now
down.
you could hear me turning off my television.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that what that
I
loud
went to the
click was?
Batman marathon. That's what I did.
How's that show? That one with the molesting and the typing and the.
Hasn't been on for the last. You're talking about
What's-
My Brilliant Friend on HBO.
Nah,
A must see.
I don't do it.
It has not been on.
Oh, you must be very
I
disappointed.
will tell you on Showtime, Escape from I forget.
Dannemora.
Thank you. A great show.
I loved it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I've actually been to that town. It's hilarious because on one side of the street, it's like a 2-lane street. There's like bars and shops and houses, and on the other is a maximum security prison.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
You know,
I'm getting the
Village
figure.
Connection's own Pamela Roth goes there, I think, to protect the innocent and
To protect the innocent,
and free the guilty.
free the guilty.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like the beginning of a canceled television.
The Justice Hour with Pamela
So anyway,
Roth.
let's close out the show with talking about what WrestleMania is going to look like. We're going to the Hall of Fame this year, which should be exciting.
Are you being inducted?
I happened to see a post that the first inductee may be Chris Benoit.
That was. I'm not even addressing that. Next, what else you got there, Monty?
So
Come
you're
on,
looking at
stop.
your co-main event's going to be Brock Lesnar
Versus R-Truth.
against
versus R-
Seth Rollins
versus
and
Bill Boyd
the
versus R-Truth. Brock Lesnar versus R-Truth.
and Daniel Bryan
That's
against
the worst
somebody else.
Fucking main event. ever.
Anyway, this has been another
my
episode
God. That
of
was
Monte the Pharaoh
great.
Seat every Thursday from 8:05 to 9 p.m. We appreciate everybody joining. Stay tuned for one of our top shows, Plumbers Talking Shit. And don't forget on January 26th, the round 2 of Marty Jannetty in studio with Monty and the Pharaoh, only here on Village Connection Radio. And right after that, Shane Douglas signing autographs and taking promo pictures on, 3 to 5, I think. I don't know if I had the time right. Just go to the Monty and the Pharaoh page or the Village Connection page where the events are. Pharaoh, you want to send us out?
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh. Until next week, we wish you a good one. Later.
Peace.